Welcome back to Galaxy Tenants. My name is Carly, and co-producing this episode is my husband, Justin. On today's episode, we head to Kissimmee, Florida for breakfast with Roosevelt Collier and feature a couple of songs from projects he's involved with.
All right, so I'm here with Roosevelt coming out of Kissimmee, Florida. How are you? How are you today, Rosie?
Yo, I'm alive. I'm well. We're healthy over here. So we are in day I don't know. This is a new norm. So I really don't even know what it is right now. But we are good, man. What about yourself?
We're doing good. We haven't left the house much except for to go get more food and maybe a little bit of cannabis, but that's about it. You know, the essential stuff. But do you have a ponytail?
Hey, brother.
Oh my God.
Hey, brother. Look at me. Hey,
I love that.
Hey, brother. You know what, man? Things change. I've been trying to grow my hair out like Joey's, but it's not happening.
That's funny. For those who don't know, you're talking about Joey Porter from the Motat, correct?
Correct, Joey Porter. Yeah.
His hair is long hair. Yeah. So thanks for joining me for breakfast. The reason I wanted to do this is because I think that one of the things that you and I enjoy most outside of music is breakfast. It's something that we take very seriously. So let's talk about what you made this morning.
Wait. First of all, let's be very thorough with this. We don't take breakfast seriously. Breakfast for us, me and Justin, every time we get together, it's a sport. All right, we have to get it. This is very like essential for our day to get started. We can skip lunch. Breakfast we have to have. You know, things don't go right unless we have a good breakfast, and it's been like that for the last 6-7 years. So let's just be honest and say what it is. Breakfast is a meal that's very, very important and thorough to us and our bodies, that we may function and keep doing what we do.
We don't maintain these beautiful figures by not eating a ton of breakfast. And I do want to say, yeah, it's a sport, but it's not a sprint. It's definitely a marathon for us.
Oh, listen, we ain't sprinting.
All right, so tell me what you made.
All right, listen. So first of all, I'm not going to tell you what I made. You know what, man? I'm gonna let my wife Jill tell you, because she made this bomb dish. All right. So what I'm gonna show you, well, of course, like, you know what, this here, like, you can't see, but what I'm gonna, babe, come here.
Look at that presentation.
The presentation is bomb. Okay. Listen, this is what she does. All right, babe. So listen, like, let's explain to here. Look.
Hey, Joe.
Hello. How's it going? How's Carly? Hey, Carly.
All right, so tell us what you made.
Okay, so everybody wants a breakfast sandwich, but you can't just have breakfast sandwich. You have to French toast breakfast sandwich, and then you can't just put French toast into a breakfast sandwich. You have to deep fry the whole entire thing into a French toast sandwich.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Sausage, egg, and cheese, brother.
Yeah.
Your mouth is open, close it, yes.
Dip the whole entire sandwich into the batter that you would do for French toast, and then drop the whole thing in the oil and deep fry the whole entire thing. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It smells like you fair in here right now.
It smells just like a fair.
Yeah.
This is not every day, but it goes down.
What's the sauce, or is that fruit that was in the middle in that little bowl? What is that?
Well, yeah, we have to act like we're being healthy just a little bit. So yeah. That's our fruits. I'll see y'all later.
Hey.
Thanks, Jill.
Hey, I ain't gonna eat that. That's just for presentation.
All right. So on my end, I
Yeah.
made a scramble. I've got some chorizo, some broccoli with egg over a bed of hash browns, and I got a little tapatio sauce.
Tapatio.
So good.
Yes. You know what? You know what, Justin? That's almost like what's that place that we used to go to downtown Denver, like you took me to? I think it was syrup.
Yeah, it was syrup. That's right. Yeah, I was hoping we'd get the chance to talk about the kitchen sink.
You know what? Don't wait on you, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
The kitchen. All right. So the kitchen sink is. Let me see. It's biscuits on the bottom, tater tots on top of that, crispy bacon on top of that, eggs on top of that with sausage gravy over the whole thing.
Yeah. Now that's what it is, but I had to take it a step further, Justin. Like, you know what, man? If you recall, I asked them to add what's the sausage that you just said? What's the sprinkle? What is it that you just made?
Oh, chorizo.
Yes, I had to have them sprinkle that on top of the mountain. It was maybe too much, but it was wonderful.
This is coming from a guy who gets double meat at Taco Bell.
Hey, that's only because Taco Bell is not a real taco stand. They give you this one shimmer of meat, so you have to ask for double just for it to feel normal.
As Murray would say, that's a no noob move. That's a pro move right there.
That was a pro move. Look at me, I've been doing it for 30 plus years, brother. I know.
All right, I'm gonna eat breakfast for just a second, get a couple bites in here.
All right, yeah. I'm already like a sandwich in.
All right, I wanted to talk about a couple of our, I don't know if they're weirder breakfast stories because we've had some weird ones, but I want to talk about a couple of entertaining breakfast stories that have happened to us. One of the stories was we were on tour up in Frisco, Colorado, and I can't recall who we were on tour with, but I do know we were joined by Bill Nershi of the string cheese incident. And and next to the hotel was a Starbucks, and we went there for pre-breakfast, I believe. For those who don't know what pre-breakfast is, it's your coffee and little things that aren't a huge meal prior to breakfast, and then you still have to go get breakfast and get the meat and all the potatoes, all that stuff. But so we went over to Starbucks. The story goes that you guys were already there. I pulled through the drive-through and I ordered a couple of coffees. And when I pulled up to the window, they ran my card. They handed my card back to me, and they handed me 2 empty coffees. Holding the coffee, trying to figure out what. I'm looking at the barista. They're looking back at me, and I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? And then from inside the Starbucks, I hear you and Bill Nershi cracking up. And I looked through the window, and you and Bill are at the counter. And of course, I'm sure it was Bill that had them pull a fast one on us, but I thought that was pretty good.
Listen. Whoa, listen. Okay, listen, Justin, just so you know, it was all Bill Nershi. Bill told them, hey, listen, that guy there, we know him. Just give him no coffee. And look, like, you know what? They was like, no. Like, are you sure? They was like, no, trust me. We know that guy right there. That's our friend. Just give him no coffee. Just watch what happened. And they was like, no, we cannot do it. And Bill was like, take these 2 cups. Give it to him.
Bill's very persuasive.
And dude, that's what happened. And sure enough, Bill was just laughing. I was like, this is the funniest thing ever.
What a fucked up thing to do. I hadn't even had my coffee. That was going to be my first coffee of the day. So I'm already in a daze.
This was like, what, 8 in the morning or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Bill Nershi was on it early in the morning. It was so funny.
Classic. Another one of our weird breakfasts that I wanted to talk about was when we were in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Luis Guzman, the actor, showed up at one of your shows and invited us to breakfast the following day.
Wow.
And
Right. No. That whole night was weird. Like it was a good show, but out of all people and all places, who would think that this guy would show up at this club in New Mexico and stay the entire time, come backstage. Once the man came backstage, listen, I thought that this was like a prank. You know what? I mean, I was like, there's no way that this is this guy backstage just chilling with us. And he stayed the entire time. They had to practically kick us out of the club that night. And then he had us out for breakfast, which I thought it was fake too. But it turned out he was there sitting back in the corner waiting on us with breakfast.
I thought what was really funny was when we walked into the restaurant, and it's pretty packed, but he stood up from the table that he was sitting at and waved as if we didn't see Luis Guzman sitting across the restaurant waiting for us. I thought that was pretty funny.
Dude, listen, he stood up and that was really surreal, man. You know what, man? It was a cool experience, though.
Yeah,
he's a cool guy, man. I mean,
yeah, cool guy and good breakfast too.
Good breakfast. Listen, man. We had breakfast with him, and we talked and we chopped it up, man. You know what, man? That still seems like weird,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on that same trip, which was kind of cool, we ended up going to Meow Wolf, where you sat in with the infamous string dusters. What was Meow Wolf like for you? What was your impression of Meow Wolf?
Listen, so I don't smoke, I don't get high, but
I do.
But for some reason, I thought I was high like as a kite because it was so weird. So I thought I was tripping, but I don't trip, So it's a cool spot, and if I can explain it, man, I don't even have words for it. Like it's almost like a galaxy that you can walk into, mixed with a weird fun house, mixed with I have no idea.
Isn't it tough to try to explain it?
It is like so cool, but it's hard to like even think about saying. I mean, I don't know, man. It's a really cool spot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it?
I love it. We've gone there a few times, and I do like to smoke. I do like to get high, and it definitely enhances that experience, or it did for us. And I love art. So for us to see all that art and all of the cool output without limitation, it seems like they just let some creative people go crazy in a warehouse, and the result is stunning. And I remember one of the first times I went there, I was able to squeeze through some really cool passageways and stuff. But I know by the time I made it back there with you after a big breakfast, I wasn't squeezing through anything. There are certain areas I couldn't even fit through, man.
Listen, like, you know what, that was it the dishwasher or the fridge or something that you tried to say to go through? I'm like, listen, I'm not squeezing inside of no refrigerator or no dishwasher.
It was a laundry machine. Yeah, you had to dive into the laundry machine.
Right. I was like, man, I cannot fit through no drain, but I was like, hey, if Justin can get through it, I can squeeze some butter and get through it. I was like, nope, I'll just watch y'all.
It's cool when you go through the dryer. It's like this multicolored wild lights down this tube into an area that's all plexiglass, and on the other side of the plexiglass, it's all the socks that have been missing from the washer and dryer, and it's cool. And then you climb out of that into like this space world. But yeah, I really enjoyed that experience. I also really enjoyed on that same trip going to Albuquerque and having some really authentic Mexican food. We did a cool breakfast where I got some huevos rancheros.
Yeah.
I also really loved Taos on that experience. And, we had a similar thing lined up right before the pandemic hit where we were going to be going down to Taos, where we were going to play Taos Mesa Brewing. And I love it down there. They do some really cool festivals and concerts. And that experience in Taos is fun. The last time we were down there,
It snowed.
John had us out, and you did the radio show during the day with John in that Airstream, which is super cool.
Super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really special. And then, yeah, that evening, I think it snowed over 2 feet, which...
Listen, wow. It snowed so bad. Listen, because that daytime, it was nice out. Snow was there, but it wasn't snowing. And literally around like 7 o'clock or like 6 o'clock maybe, it poured. And oh man, just that quick, which was still, but it was still beautiful. But man, I was like, yeah, man, yep, I'm standing inside. But yeah, man, was it like over 2 feet or 3 feet of snow?
It was over 2. I think it was like 2.5 feet. And it was crazy because the crowd still, first off, we're in the desert. So that's super weird to get dumped on in the desert. You don't really think about that. And then we got 2 feet of snow, and the crowd, because the crowd down there is just wild. They're really a very hippie kind of crowd. People still turned out like crazy and got down. That was that was a great night on that tour.
Yeah, no, man, and like what they actually throw like festivals like on that ground, right? Things of that nature.
We've gone to one that was a whole lot of fun. They have a band shell outside that's like made of like adobe or something, some kind of clay, and it's very cool.
Wow.
And the earth ships are down there, which are all houses made of recycled material that are really cool. If you're not familiar with earth ships, I would suggest everybody look up what that is. It's a very cool way of living.
Wait, earth ships, you say? Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Man, I thought for like a second, earth ships. I thought that you was talking about the time that you took me at this place to go see the spaceships and the aliens and all that stuff, which was like very weird and creeped me out. But I didn't want to say nothing because I'm a grown man.
We didn't. Yeah. It was closed though. We didn't actually make it to so that was the UFO watchtower outside of Alamosa, Colorado, and we didn't actually make it to it because it was closed for the season or hadn't opened yet. But that's an observation deck.
That's what UFO watchtower.
Yeah, we'll go there sometime. Don't you worry.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
So a couple more things I wanted to ask you. Now that there aren't concerts, so your main way of earning income, as far as I know, is concerts. And oh, look, a bald eagle. See up on the tree way over there. I'm sorry. So you play concerts, and without there being concerts at this point, I've seen that you're doing some lessons, and I've watched a lot of musicians switch to online broadcasts and different different means of earning. What's your strategy, or what are you doing right now to change over with, this pandemic?
Well, just like, man, to be honest with you, dude, this is the new norm for right now. So we are all like, man, in the same boat. So we have to adapt with what's happening, and what's happening is social media, and so to be able to offer things like lessons, plan live shows, as far as with your live streaming or playing back, like older shows of y'all playing, or just coming up with ways to sustain online. That's a huge thing for all of us to actually get into right now, or else, man, we can actually fall short real quick because, man, I don't see this way of life going back to our norm like in the next 4 months at all. I just don't, I don't see it. So I'm trying to get my place here set up for more live streams, more session work, recording, lessons, things of that nature, just so I can, sustain,
Mm-hmm.
It's a real struggle, brother, and you know what, that's for everybody that's in this right now,
Yeah, I can relate. Obviously, a lot of my income too was tied to what you were doing and tied to the live music, concert scene. I don't know. I think it's optimistic to say that things will even come back in the next 4 months, 5 months. It could be a
Right.
year or two before we even have full concerts, unless it's a local band where nobody turns out anyways, and we can just do a bunch of those kind of shows.
Yeah, yeah, but you're like absolutely right though. You know what, man? I mean, like, there's a lot of festivals and like, there's a lot of like clubs. Even now, they are planning for like fall, and you know what? It's just a gamble, It's a toss up, because there's no telling when this will get back to normal, So like, and I've already set it up, like, man, in my mind for next year, just not to think about, okay, let me book August, September, October right now. That's like a waste of time right now. Because I mean, it's just like all a gamble right now.
It's weird to watch a lot of clubs book, reschedule things that are going to be rescheduled again. It's like they're going through the effort of finding out availability, re-promoting these shows, creating press lists for the new show in the fall that I don't even think is going to end up happening anyway. So it is kind of like a wasted effort just to reschedule a show you're going to have to cancel.
Yeah, no, man. I've already had 2 festivals rescheduled for the fall. Then they just turned around and just was like, you know what, this won't even go down this fall. So they had to reschedule. So that's absolutely right, man. But yeah, man, we are like all in the, like all in the same boat. I mean, of course, there's a lot of grants and funds being out for us, but you know what? That's a million people, like, applying for those funds. So that's not something that you may get. That's like a slim chance. So you know what, man? I'm just really, man, I'm getting in my mindset for next year and getting in mind right now. Like, I'm getting me like, like a bunch of like gear, cameras, and just so I can get my home ready for like, streaming and like, more social media.
Mm-hmm. A lot of that equipment can be pretty cheap too. I mean, a lot of it can be very expensive, but just to get started, you can get a lot of really affordable gear that'll get you up and running until you're able to generate some income on those front end streams.
Yeah, brother. That's all you need. But yeah, man, it's tough right now, man.
How's it been homeschooling the kids?
Hold on. Let me bite this sandwich real quick.
Do it.
Talk about that. My second cup of coffee. Talk about that.
Yeah, I'm on 2 or 3 now.
Right. So like, my wife works still, So that's good. It's scary, but still good. I like, what, she's safe. But so like, what, that leaves me home with the kids. And daddy daycare is in full effect. And they don't like it.
Do you?
With kids, like, man, it's important that they stay on a schedule. That's very, very, very important. This is not a big summer break. No. There's still a schedule. So I'm up at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Kids up 8, breakfast. They have their stuff to do. So I can't lie. I'd be tired. I'd be tired, brother. I'd be tired. Like, you need to help me, Justin. Come to them. But but it's a good thing too, because like, they can see like a lot more daddy. Kids, the family. Man, they get to see me all day now. Like every day, all day.
Which is the opposite of when you're on tour, so that's pretty cool.
Which was the totally opposite. So like, it's like now I'm home. The wife works. So like, it's like a flip flop. Well, like, she always worked, but like, man, I'm home now. So like, here, man, I cook, clean up, just like a lot of this stuff here. And man, these kids, man, oh man, I got 3 brothers, so what, man, excuse my gray hairs,
Does the school provide like work that you bring home from the school, or is it an online program?
Nah, both. They are both. So like, I mean, like, our kids do online with their class and stuff like that, and then like I go and get their books from the school, each week. Like man, they have some books. Like I gotta go get. They do them, complete them. And I take those books back. Plus they talk with their teachers. Like, every day, maybe like in the morning time, and then they have until like 3 o'clock. Man, to get their stuff done. So like they're like on track. And then
Good. The last thing I want to ask you is, with all of your travels all across the country, where is your favorite city or favorite place or places to get breakfast?
Oh man. Oh, Jay, why would you? Oh, okay. You know what? Of course, that was coming. Man, I should have prepared for that one.
So like when I think of like good food, me personally, I think of like New Orleans, I think of like San Francisco, I think of like Chicago. What about you?
But you say breakfast. That's a difference, Like you can get good food like in those cities, but we talking about a breakfast. Okay, Lucille's got good breakfast.
Dude, you wouldn't believe it. I don't know if you saw my post, but
Your friend is awesome.
yeah.
His friend had him sent him some food from Lucille's, right?
From Lucille's, and he also sent us a Bloody Mary kit that came with like Bloody Mary mix and vodka. And beignets, dude.
And beignets. God, it's a good friend.
That's a good friend. I should have had him stand up in my wedding. I didn't know him back then.
But so no, okay, but you know what? That's a real good spot. And then of course, like I'm Southern, so with me, a good Southern breakfast is like fried fish and cheese grits and like eggs and bacon and sausage. So like I have to go back home, back in South Florida, back in Miami. There's this thing called what like man, every city is called the hood. And you go back over there and like man, they serve you up like a $5 plate.
I love the sound of that.
I look at them in a $5 plate with some sweet tea on it, brother. You going back to sleep.
Thanks for turning me on to grits too, by the way. I never had grits till I met you.
Really?
No, I'm serious. I'm a northern boy, so.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Sure as hell not going to drink any sweet tea.
Yes, you will. I promise you, man.
Dude, thanks for taking the time to do this, and we'll check back in with you down the road here and see what you've been working on in the next couple of months. We'll have you back on.
Man, thank you, Justin. Y'all take care, man, and look at man. Stay safe, brother.
The first song you heard was Darkest Hour by Andy Hall and Roosevelt Collier. Up next is House on Fire by Bokante.
All right.
l'éclair d'une étincelle. Soudain il fut réel, sa route se trace. Il est le fils de la peur et de sa compagne terreur. À trois il cause des douleurs sans regret. À peine naissance, si fougueux, si gourmand, son baiser incandescent brûle le parquet. Son appétit sans fin, dangereux comme un venin, paralysant les destins sur son trajet.
Puis il ne faut pas traîner, puis il faut le noyer, puis il faut l'arrêter, puis où tout va brûler.
Sa chaleur, il gagne du terrain. s'arrange d'elle-même. C'est maintenant qu'il faut agir. On n'a plus le choix. On n'a plus le luxe d'attendre. Ce feu de haine qui se propage à toute vitesse, il est impressionnant, il fait peur, c'est vrai. Mais on ne laissera pas nous détruire. Nous sommes nombreux et ensemble, nous sommes invincibles. Il est temps d'utiliser notre pouvoir. Il est temps d'utiliser notre pouvoir.